Hi everyone, Glenn Esmond here and welcome to my music channel. Today will be the first in what will be many walkthroughs and playthroughs of the butterfly effect material. Now, I wasn't sure how to tackle it exactly, so I thought what better place to start than the start, and the EP. So the Butterfly Effect EP was self-funded and self-released by the guys in November of 2001. Kurt Goodhart on guitar, Clint Bogan vocals, Ben Hall on drums, and Michael Cavendish on bass. It was then also subsequently re-released through Roadshow Music in May of 2002 and went to, I think, number 32 on the ARIA charts in like July of 2002. So before we start, I want to go over a couple of things that will help us navigate these waters. Firstly, guitar tuning. The guitars on the EP and Begins Here were all tuned to drop C tuning. That's drop D tuning down a whole step. So C, G, C, F, A, and D. The bass was originally recorded, I think, on a drop C bass guitar, same sort of tuning. But when I came into the band later on, I just readjusted my 5 strings so that it was sort of similar, but a little bit different. C, G, C, F, B flat. The second thing is related to that point. When referring to the note names on the guitar, I'm going to try and always refer to the sound as it sounds in what we would call concert pitch. But sometimes, because I'm used to playing a guitar in standard tuning, I will sometimes refer to the note names as where they would ordinarily occur on a regularly tuned guitar. So please forgive me if I mix that up. And again, you can leave a comment and let me know if there was anything that was particularly unclear. The third thing is a note about music theory. Now, I'm fairly sure Kurt hasn't had a whole lot of music school experience. He's the one that wrote pretty much all of the music in the band. He wouldn't have had a lot of these theoretical concepts in mind when he was writing the songs, I'm sure. It does help to use music theory to kind of act as a lens to view what he's doing and figure out why it works and why it sounds good and why it has that emotional impact. So, on to Black Lung. This is the guitar, as far as I'm aware, that Kurt recorded the EP on. It's an Ibanez artist. As I mentioned, tuned drop C tuning. There's a fair bit of what you'd call modal mixture in this song. It's just a fancy way of saying that the verse feels like it's in a major key, and then the chorus feels like it's more in a minor key, and then you've got the middle section is sort of like this Phrygian dominant gypsy sort of feel. So anyway, we can touch a bit more on that as we go through. Onto the verse. The verse features 2 main sections. It starts with this F add 9 chord. Kurt's really super fond of that sound, and it makes it kind of uplifting and sound a bit different. It's very similar to the chord sound in something like Avalon. Just makes it sound a bit different rather than just kind of these straight power chords. And then it alternates between that, and then, which is a 5th fret, and then it alternates between the open and the 2nd fret. Pedaling this, see, this is where I'm going to stuff up on the names. Pedaling this F sharp. I call it F sharp, but it's an E. Pedaling this E. This E note is cool for a couple of reasons. So it's the add 9 of the D chord there on the 2nd fret, but it's also the 3rd of the open. So, alternating between the 2 parts, which is the intro, just clean with a bit of a phaser or something on it. So it alternates. So the interesting thing about that, though, is that E note, the vocal will catch that later on in the verse when it comes in, and it really amplifies that C major sound. So let's just play through the verse and then we'll go on to the chorus.
Save your breath, I'm not listening.
It's a fairly simple part. It repeats every verse and comes back again at the end. Onto the chorus. The chorus introduces this new chord, A flat. Now A flat is the flat 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the key of C. The flat 6 really suggests a strong Aeolian sound or natural minor sound, and the vocal melody sort of backs that up. The rhythms are a little bit tricky because it has a few 16th note anticipations in there, but nevertheless, once you get it under your fingers, it's quite easy. So opens with this open there, 3 to 5 slide octaves, and that's 7, 8, playing these power chords, and then repeats that figure. So yeah, and the whole part is then just that repeated. And then it does this little turnaround, which is the D flat, but it also has this real dissonant note because he hits the open C in between, so we get this. And then back into the verse. So anyway, let's play through. That's the verse and the chorus. The verse is in C major, the chorus is in C minor, but Clint plays around with those thirds in the vocal melody a little bit, so sometimes it sort of suggests, when it resolves around to like the E natural in the vocals, it kind of suggests a bit of a C major chord for a second, but then he slips straight back to the E flat and makes it go into C minor again. So then we get to the middle section, and I'll pull out the old bass for this one. The middle section is fairly easy, again, but it's the rhythms are important in this, and once you get the notes down, then getting that kind of the flow is the whole key to making sure that the middle section flows well. Now I did a little bit of research and tried to figure out what scale, if any, this middle section was in, and it turns out it kind of does fit into what you call Phrygian dominant, which is the 5th mode of the harmonic minor scale. Again, as I said earlier, I don't think it was particularly, that was kind of the idea behind it, but it just happened to turn out that way. It features a lot of this D flat note, which is kind of like, there's a couple of metal notes that really make metal sound metally, and it's this minor second interval. That's one of them. That minor second and this tritone minor flat 5. If you listen to any like old Metallica stuff, it's just full of these flat 2s and flat 5s. Like the devil sound. The middle section also features some little hammer-ons, and it's important to get those right. The notes you're going to need are open 1, 4, 7, counting as I go, and 12 and 13. So play it slow. Best thing to do is for me to play through it. I'll play through from leading into the middle section, and you can see how I do that, and then from that to the outro chorus, and the chorus really is just the same as the verse. The outro chorus is kind of the same as the verse. So yeah, let's have a listen. So the only other difference there is, of course, it does a little rhythmic change. The drums go into like the straight feel, and it goes, instead of do do da 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 da, it goes into the da 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 da, and it sort of takes the emphasis off the 16th anticipation and moves it on to straight on the downbeat, which is, that kind of makes it tough. And then yeah, so we've got the so like I said, the outro is just the same as the verse, and it finishes on that big phasey F9 chord. Actually not F9, D9. Yeah, so that's Black Lung, first track off the EP.